Let's go for it. I really plan to talk about economics, well, at least to start with it. I have been educated as a human capital or labor economist, or HCE. As an HCE, I believe that all men are created equal, but it is the investment into each and every one of us that makes us all different. Some doctors, some lawyers, some rich, and the lack of investment makes some most poor. I also believe that equal investment creates equality and leads to democracy, while unequal investment creates inequality and leads to oligarchies. That the knowledge sphere drives our capitalistic system. What you can think of, you can picture. What you can picture, you can build. And what you can build, you can sell. So the new sphere or the knowledge sphere determines equality or inequality. Government is made up of laws, and laws determine order and the rules of society. So government equals laws either confirms equality or inequality. It is government policies that supports either the superior goods, better and better economic policies, or always lower price, worse and worser economic policies, which enslave. Government can rig the game for one or the other group of billionaires so they can make more money. Economics determines efficiency and will efficiently redistribute the wealth based on these two games that government rules dictate. So both government and economics verify equality or inequality in the new sphere. But we are a democracy, and we, the people, can change the direction of our government. And every 4 years, we hire a new CEO to run our government and elect officials to steer our economy and our destinies. Until this last election, we always knew that the loser would have another chance. But this year is a whole lot different. Sorry, but I see a right wing coup happening before my eyes, and I'm old enough to know that. And with a faux email scandal, why did former State Secretary of State Colin Powell have his own private email server as standard operating procedure during the Bush administration? Colin Powell was not setting up Miss Hillary, but being a friend to Miss Hillary when he told her to set up her own. In the digital age, in order to facilitate one-to-one communication, you have to have a private server because some folks can't go to us.gov. Doing so would put their lives in danger. We're talking about persons like the person who told Osama bin Laden where he was, i.e., informants, double agents, your agents, foreign dignitaries. Think of government websites as sitting targets and a nondescript private server as being able to hide in plain sight. Which is more vulnerable, a sitting or a hidden target? Just think about all the thousands of emails that have been leaked from, quote, secure government website. Isn't WikiLeaks full of US emails? Hundreds of thousands of them? Which is going to pose less danger to someone to message to the US? A us.gov website or a redefinable website? See, top secret needs secure one-on-one communication, and no one has ever asked why Colin Powell was able to have his own private server. 2 words, Patriot Act, which has vague wording allowing for off-site servers to aid in the defense of our nation. Hillary didn't break the law, she followed the law. By the way, Colin Powell supports Miss Hillary, and I believe he just voted for her. Wouldn't he know if she broke the law? The other reason is she didn't break the law is who determines what is classified and should be kept secret. It shall and always shall be people, and people decide this. It takes a person to decide. Think of information coming into our government as streams. At the head of the stream that clears the water. Emails, like from informants and other outside sources, they don't have the words top secret stamped on them. All information that comes in from outside sources don't have a classification to them. They are unclassified. A person has to decide which set of eyes, other than the president's, sees any information. The post of Secretary of State is one of those gatekeeper posts who decide. That is why this position you put the most capable and trustworthy person. Obama chose Hillary for that reason. That is also why so many Secretary of States have become presidents. If an email is unclassified, are you breaking any law? The Secretary determines who can see what, since in effect, the one-to-one communications, emails from outside sources are not classified until he or she decides they are in effect classified. Understand one-to-one conversation has been a necessary tool in our country's toolbox ever since the Revolution and War. Do you honestly believe that we would be a country from sea to shiny sea if Thomas Jefferson announced he was planning on buying the Louisiana territory from France? Understand, Great Britain wanted this territory. That is why we had the Battle of New Orleans in 1814. Thomas Jefferson sent his most trusted friend with one-to-one verbal communications and written miscommunications to throw the British off. Written communications are inherently that insecure, and that is why you go to great lengths to secure them. And this necessary tool has been taken away from our country by conservatives for political gain, and it only helps Russia and Putin, creating a huge blind spot for our country's intelligence agency. Can you say terrorists attack? I can. Government can't do anything, they'll say, but it's because of them. Then there is approximately 100 websites out of Macedonia, Russia. They receive more clicks by conservatives than Wall Street Journal and the New York Times put together. Donald Trump knowingly is using what is in those websites in his speeches. Where did Donald Trump get that Hillary is going to bring 640 million Syrians in the first week? Russia. Our total population is just 320 million. It took the U.S. months, repeat months, just to transfer 80,000 troops from Iraq to Afghanistan. Trump speak is the home of the Whopper and the home of the Russian speak. And the reaction of our corporate media is that he was on message this week because conservatively funded and corporately run media will make more if the horse race is close and more people watch. Putting our democracy at risk. I do know one thing that is true coming from Deputy CIA Director Mike Merrill. In the intelligence business, we would say that Putin has recruited Trump as an unwittingly agent, or as Lenin would put it, a useful idiot. Trump has called for violence. Use Second Amendment, folks! You know that there has been at least 6 assassination attempts on President Obama since he got into office. And here we have Trump pushing for an assassination of Hillary. Conservative coup? Trump has openly called on his supporters to monitor minority voting centers and on their website has a PDF to create an official-looking badge. Laws dating back to U.S. grant to protect minority voters from harassment and terrorism while voting, Trump clearly is breaking. Trump is clearly starting a process to keep blacks, Asians, and Hispanics from voting. He's going after your rights. Last week, useful idiots were the FBI, a group of rogue New York FBI agents, wittingly or unwittingly, helped to start a right-wing coup 5 days from this election. But the conservative establishment has been setting up right-wing coup for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has taken full advantage of the handiwork. Conservatives have closed over 280 voting sites across America in mostly black, Hispanic areas for this election. Strange that the election that has had the largest pre-election registration also has the largest voting site closings. Is that rigging the election? That is why early voting is so important. Also, when you vote early, you are using a paper ballot. In 2010 and 2012, there was evidence of vote switching in 2 senatorial elections in the favor of conservative Republicans, more rigging by conservatives. Those private voting machines being paperless meant no proof of voting machine fraud, like those in Ohio. Votes are not tallied until they communicate to the server, and it is there that vote switching can occur. Easily to hack, easy to hide the crime. Those voting machines must not be allowed to download their voting tallies until they are attached to a printer and the vote tallies are printed out in hard copy. The FBI Anti-Spy Division has at least 2 rooms full of records of the Trump-Putin connection. Use these records to go to the FICA court and do this, folks. Do your voting with paper so your vote will be counted. These voting machines are open to Russian cyber attacks and server-based vote switching. They are, if they are connected. No proof is left. This is just a white supremacist billionaire Mercer and Russian plan. Let's start. What do they get from this? Let's start with the eastern half of the Middle East. More power, more influence, more control over Europe's oil supply. Europe will be at the mercy of Russia and unable to act. When Russia attacks Eastern Europe, Mercer, they will not be able to do a thing. Mercer gets to keep more of his ill-gotten gain with Trump's tax cuts, which he will use to fund a race war. Just read what's in Breitbart.com. And you make up your mind. The violence will be used to consolidate Trump's power and pass another Patriot Act that will create a police state and suspend habeas corpus, allowing Trump to stay in power indefinitely. That is why Alec has put in the anti-gang laws across our country that made it illegal to fire a warning shot, knowing that it would be replaced by the kill shot, so police would start shooting blacks. Again, rigging the election. Hillary Clinton agreeing to put Bernie Sanders' planks in the Democratic Party and promising to pass Bernie's bill means that not voting for her is voting against Bernie, or worse, not voting for her is voting for Trump. Vote. Either way, the millennials have the most to lose in this election. The U.S. Supreme Court appointees will be your court for most of your lifetime and will affect your lives the most. Your rights, your health, your income all lie in who gets elected. There is a false equivalent that Hillary is just as bad as Trump. Not even close, folks. If you don't want to help Russia ruin our country, you vote for Hillary. I repeat, again, if you don't support the moderate, Miss Hillary, you will only face the extremist, Donald Trump. And Putin and Mercer, you have a good day. Vote, vote, vote. Bye.